Pizzo, Campbell back with you. And Morgan, we're talking GOATs. Before we even get into this, you and I are roughly the same age.
Yeah.
There was a point where being the GOAT in sports was a bad thing. You know, the scapegoat, the person who coughed up the puck in the third period or something.
Scapegoat.
And now suddenly, you know, it's an acronym. And we hear debates all the time in every single sport. And there's one that kind of came to the forefront at the most recent Diamond League event in Italy because Faith Kipyegon, widely regarded as one of the greatest 1,500-meter racers of all time.
Yep.
2 gold medals, 2 world championships. But she had the second best time ever in this event. But in Italy, she goes and breaks the world record. And didn't just break it, she smashed the world record.
Is it gonna be a world record? Yes, it is! She smashed it!
When do we start bringing up the GOAT discussion in track? Because every sport seems to have different criteria. You know, in NBA, it's how many rings do you have? In Major League Baseball, how many whatever career stats do you have? Is this the final tick for her? Is this like, boom, GOAT?
I have to be honest with our viewership and with you. Like, I am not good at greatest of all time debates. I'm much better at discussions than I am at debates because once someone is good enough to become one of the all-time greats, for me, that's good enough. And we can just discuss their merits as opposed to what we think their drawbacks are, because the reality is the drawbacks are so tiny, so marginal, so infinitesimal that they don't really matter. Here we have a person, 2 Olympic golds, 2 world championships, world record or no world record, that person is a superstar, period. Also with women's track and field in particular, so many of the records come from the era when a lot of the top performers, the people that set the world records, we either later found out or could reasonably infer that these people were on steroids. And so to hold it against like a women's competitor or a power event competitor who most likely is doing it clean, and to penalize them for not meeting a standard that was set in the 80s when steroid use was like rampant and hardly ever tested for, isn't really fair.
Why are we so obsessed with it then?
I think the difference in track and field is that tracks, like the surfaces themselves, change. They get faster, they get bouncier, same with the shoes. And so technology sometimes enables people to do things that wouldn't have been possible 5-10 years ago. And the people that debate G.O.A.T status understand that. This is why the debates never end. Once you get into that category, I'm happy for you. And I'm not gonna spend an hour trying to tell Faith Kipyegon that some other person, because they ran a 1/10 of a second faster, is greater than Faith Kipyegon. Like, they're both great.
There you have it. Morgan Campbell says, put the GOATs to bed. I'll argue about it every day of the week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Okay, that's the end of the video, but you're not at the finish line yet because we've got plenty more content. And if you want to see it, subscribe to the channel and just look at all the videos you can watch. Morgan and myself, talking track.